Hey everybody, welcome back to the program. I am so incredibly excited because today is the day that we get a new Beatles song. It finally came out today, and in this video I'm going to talk about my thoughts on it, as well as the short film, the B-side, Love Me Do, and possible future releases by the Beatles. But before I do all that, I just want to take a moment and ask y'all to subscribe if you haven't already. It really does make a difference. Okay, so I woke up at 6 a.m., raring to go. At 7 a.m., I had my finger ready to hit play. It didn't go. I quit the program. I reopened Spotify, hit play again. Then it finally worked. And, you know, at first I was like, this is it, huh? All right. I was not blown away. I was not, I was not that impressed. It was like, it was fine. It was cool. I don't know what I was expecting. Well, I wasn't really expecting much at all. I was just expecting a new Beatles song and, cool, we got one, great. But then I watched the 12-minute behind the scenes film and I just had tears rolling down my face. To hear the Beatles talk, primarily Paul McCartney talk about the making of the song, the way it was put together, the voiceovers, the clips, the music, suddenly it all like coalesced. And I was like, oh, now and then, oh my gosh. Like suddenly these lyrics took on a whole new meaning. Hearing what the song started out as, the work they put into it and what they came up with was just beautiful. It was gorgeous. And then I went back and listened to the song and it's just like, it's not going to be my favorite Beatles song. I'll just get that out of the way. It's not. It will never be that. But for it to have been recorded, whenever John recorded this, late 70s sometime, and then to be like worked on in the 90s and then shelved, and then finally we're getting it now. I mean, what a gift. What an absolutely gorgeous gift to get from one of the greatest bands to have ever recorded. And I think what they did was very tasteful. It wasn't trying to be anything other than it was. And I love the fact that they really left John to be the focus of this song. Like, this is his song. I'm glad that they didn't try to make this sound like, old Beatles. This is, Paul's voice is old. You can hear it in the mix. Like, it's not young Paul. They're not trying to hide that fact. Even with what they had to work with, there was no way, in my mind, they were going to make that sound like 1968, 1969 Beatles. There was no way. So I really appreciated the fact that they didn't even try. Like, that to me was like amazing, because I think it would have come off wrong. As it is now, it just comes off very genuine, very sweet, very moving, touching, aching, like Now and Then. These lyrics are simple yet poignant, yet incredibly relatable. No matter what you're thinking of, like, it elevated this simple song without making it over the top. I love it, but I think I love it more for what it represents more than what it actually is. Because at its core, it's a sweet, simple song that is lovingly put together. It's amazing that we have it. I'm so incredibly grateful that we have it. But at the end of the day, it can never be completely what the Beatles would have made, because it's so pieces from different elements. But the fact that we even have any form of it is incredible. And in some ways, I feel like this is maybe perhaps a window into what the Beatles would have sounded like had they not broken up, had they continued, or maybe they got back together. I mean, who knows? But I like that fact. I like the fact that it wasn't trying to sound like their old sound. It was just simply like, what can we do with this song? How can we honor John and George and our legacy and create something that, is in service of the song? It's not necessarily in service for the fans and what we want to hear necessarily. This is just them. This is the Beatles, and it's beautiful. Again, I wasn't expecting much of anything. I wasn't expecting anything. I I did not want to set myself up for disappointment. I'll just put it that way. After the cover art was released, I'm like, okay, everything is out the window. And I still hate the cover art. I don't think it's a good match for the music, looking at it now. Yeah. But yeah, if you haven't, please take a moment, watch that 12-minute film if you haven't already, because if you initially were a little bit on the fence with this song, I think it might change your mind with it, or at least give you a deeper appreciation for the work that went into it, and also just the overall sentiment of the music. So flipping over, we have the B-side, Love Me Do, and this is the 1962 single version, which my understanding is that this is Ringo playing the drums. There is also an Andy White version, which ended up on the album Please Please Me, and there you can tell the difference because Ringo's playing the tambourine, which is not on the single version. But what's curious to me is that this is the 2022 remaster. I thought this song got a D-mix, so I'm really confused about that, and I thought they did that in 2023, but maybe they did it ahead of time. And then it's confusing because I think the one on the Red album will be the album version featuring Andy White. You can hear more of the bass. There's a better overall stereo separation for sure. But still, I kind of like the mono version more. I don't know. It's that mono mix. It's very punchy, and while this has a broader soundscape, if you will, higher highs, lower lows sort of a thing, it feels a little more mellow. It feels a little bit more flat to me compared to the original mono version. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on that. Oh, and the music video. So it comes out tomorrow, November 3rd, 2023. So I have not seen it, obviously, because this is November 2nd. But what's really interesting is that in an interview, Peter Jackson talks about making the music video. And in there, he drops some very interesting little tidbits about footage that he didn't even know existed, including 14 hours of unreleased film footage shot during the Anthology miniseries. We're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the Anthology project. So perhaps, this is just rumors, that we could get a remaster, a revisit of the Beatles Anthology with this new footage edited in some way. Who knows? That may not happen. Again, I'm not making any promises, and honestly, I really don't care if these are remastered. Even let's just say we get perhaps like a 1080 upscale of the original miniseries. That could be really interesting. I'm not holding my breath on that, but at least maybe an expanded version of the Anthology project. If not, maybe a whole new edit. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not making any promises, but they got a couple years to work on it. I mean, this came out in 95. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. So I would imagine it's hopefully less work than the Get Back documentary, but we'll see. I don't know. Just between that 14 hours, this of Anthology footage, as well as some White Album footage, which would be incredible to see some of that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the music video. Overall, today is a great day. I'm ecstatic. I'm just so thankful that we have this song now, because to let it just languish in a vault somewhere, it just wasn't right. I'm just so glad that they took the time to go back, revisit this, give it the proper love and attention that it deserves, and now it's available for the world. And it's just like such a beautiful gift, and I'm just, oh man, I'm just so jazzed that we have this song. And you know what? I'm gonna go listen to it a couple more times now, maybe a dozen more times, and I think you should too. But in the meantime, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the song. Let me know what you think of the cover art. Are you excited for this music video? Until then, thank you all so much for watching. But I especially want to thank my members over on Patreon. I am your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.